Good morning. The last time, so we discussed about, for the first time, the last week, about environment. Okay, so in terms of a definition of environment as opposed to system where we can use communication with tools. So mostly language, but we can use the sign. So the language is one of the signs. So money, voting, and language, of course, words and letters. A lot of different things. So also took an example of education. In education system, through where we can use the what kind of the tools, which may be categorized as a sign, grade, and degree. Okay, we can communicate. Of course, we can use a lot of various different the sign and language in education with the classroom. We can use different types of that. For example, quiz, for example, writing, and discussion, of course. But mostly with the system. Under authority, government-oriented order, 질서, and then we can use the degree. So you can show degree to the company you apply to in the future to get the opportunity to do something. And then without sign, without language, we cannot communicate at all. How we survive in this society with respect to 에어컨이 안 틀어지거든요. 그래서 뒤에 문을 여시든지 좀 참아주시면 고맙겠습니다. 에어컨이 안 틀어져요 지금. Okay, so then especially we discuss for the first time in this class with the sign and language, with environment. Environment, as you mentioned, the surrounding, right? Surrounding. There is no language at all we can use. So even if we produce a lot of different clean water, safe water and air, then sometimes we clean polluted soil up. Okay, for the people, for the government in Yongsan. So we're digging a lot of polluted soil and clean that up, okay, for them. But they never give us to environmental engineer to talk about something through communication. So they always use economic system, political system to communicate with us. So that's why I suppose we have to make our own language and sign to communicate with this environmental system. Otherwise, we always controlled by power, authority, UN. The company like Samsung, so they always pay us to do something, but they never want to communicate with us. So that's why I would like to define newly environment in a different way. So that's the first starting point. What's the starting point? So then you probably understand it. So quiz is not important to me, but important to you, right? So first question is like that. If I ask you for the first time with the quiz, and secondary, what's the thing? Environmentalism. Okay, environmentalism give us a lot of lessons through a couple of different decades, from William Wordsworth to the Kyoto Protocol with different crises. So 70s, 80s, 90s. So in conjunction with the political movement differently, there are a couple of different activists like us in Denmark. So the students and stand up, and some female writer and scientists as well to give us a lesson. And then we took all the lessons from our ancestors and colleagues to have a certain movement right now. right now. So that's the question. How you actually interpret our present crisis of climate change and the fine particle. Okay, so that's the pretty much it. Second question. And today, so we are taking another theme in terms of ethic, but center of morality sometimes. So we would like to differently define devil. Devil. What is devil to you? What is 악마? Do you think you are devil? Do you think I am devil? Okay, so the priest, you are right now, probably, I think you are very good students. Exemplary, 모범 citizen, right? Do you think you are exemplary citizen? So some direction to be exemplary students, exemplary the citizen is too bad. We are always controlled by government. Government order give us some politics, and the UN gives us some guideline, norms, and norm means Cuba. And then we follow those ones to protect our environment and nature. Okay, to be good and exemplary students in UNIST, so you read all the guidelines provided by UNIST administration and president, and then you follow all the things to get the better, good, and higher grade, and to be exemplary students. But that's the more than enough for you to protect yourself and prepare yourself for the future. Sometimes not enough and all. Sometimes nonsense. How many exemplary good students in UNIST? To me, to the company like LG, company like Google, so they really want to, do you think, exemplary students to work with? Probably not. 여러분이 굉장히 좋은 학점을 따서 그리고 한 번도 교수님 말 어기지 않고 유니스 총장님 말씀 잘 듣고 굉장히 이제 탁 몰아쓰고 졸업하면 사회가 탁 이렇게 뻥 뚫려 있을까요? 제가 살던 시절에는 그랬던 것 같아요. 제가 살던 시절에는 졸업만 하면 취직하는 건 그렇게 어렵지 않았어요. 지금은 absolutely different. Exemplary, 모범 is not enough at all. So you have your own language, sign, symbolic representation of yourself to the person, to the society. That's the important message. So you don't remember me. You don't agree with my opinion, but I recommend to have your own symbolic representation. 여러분들을 뭐로 표현할 거냐 제일 중요한 것 같아요. 저는. That's the message. As UNIST student, as environmental engineer, what do you have right now to show you? So when I ask you how you show your priority, identity, capacity, the faculty, then you show me grade, okay, grade and degree, or some kind of a prize from UNIST president. Do you think I acknowledge, agree? No, I don't believe it. Do I have to believe your higher grade? No, I don't believe it. They don't believe it. Google come to us and to recruit very good person, good to them, to Google and Amazon, based on your grade and degree? No, not at all. They demand you very specific one, an identity and character and distinction, distinguishable from other persons. So that's the things. So come back to this class. Environmental engineer, we have to have our own symbolic signature, right? That's why you go to Starbucks rather than Cafe Bene, right? Starbucks has something to attract you. But how you show your attraction to other persons in the future to get job or to have reputation and fame in the future for you, for your family, for your country. Most importantly for yourself. So that's the message of that. So I'd like to ask you, what's the big difference between right and good? So then long time ago, when our country, Korea, was invaded by Japan. So one person named An Jung-gun shot a gun to kill the Prime Minister of Japan in Harbin, in China. Do you think he was right? Yes? So if I ask you Japanese, how they think? No, not at all. If I ask a Russian person, Putin is right? Probably yes, but maybe not, but probably yes. But if I ask a person in Ukraine, nobody agree. He's not right. So right is the levels of individual. Individual can criticize and demand rightness or wrongness with a certain event, a certain things happen to them, right? Okay, right means, so think about right. In Korean, 뭐죠?
올바른.
예, 옳거니, 올바른. 야, 이거 옳다, 그러다. How about the good? Good. 바람직한, 선하다, right? 선하다, 좋다. Okay, so in grammatic aspect, perspective, in language, good has comparative word, which is better, right? Better. How about right? In grammatically, we have a writer. But in a sense, we understand with these words in individual level, there is no comparative with this right. Right is right to individual. So I think this is right. Means that I can accept it, I can adapt this one to my behavior, to my language to communicate in the further. And individual levels. That's why we define or categorize these words as morality. This is moral. The moral is individual level. But we combine individual opinion with rightness and wrongness into certain totality to have something for group and community and society. How about that? So this group, so I if I say Putin is right, someone agree, but someone not, right? But totally one opinion is basically impossible. How about that? Nuclear power. If I say nuclear power is right, so to me, wind power is right. To me, in individual level, that's it. Okay, there's no other discussion at all, because I'm talking about to myself. This is right. This is moral. But when you discuss wind power is right, is different directions, has different directions. And then we combine, okay? Wind power is right. The fact that those of things is impossible for the group and for the community and society. That's impossible. That's why we adopt what? Democracy. Democracy. The wind power is good, not right at all. Because nobody or not everyone agree wind power is good for the Busan energy and Jeju energy as well. If you go to Jeju, there are lots of wind power, right, around there. That looks like a symbolic energy in Jeju Island. But someone like it, but someone does not. Don't like those adaptation of different energy with wind power due to noise, due to ecological reasons. So that's the ethic. This is the ethic for the group. For the group. So good means average. Or sometimes we use majority things. So how about climate change? Climate change, we can discuss about that, or do you think it's possible to make right decision? No, not at all. That's not impossible. Even if we agree certain thing is right to protect our nature against the climate change crisis, some other person has a different idea to make economic growth, even through fossil fuel. In exchange of carbon dioxide, we can survive from harsh environment of the economy. So that's the right direction or not, that's the nonsense. Everyone has a different idea, but we have to combine in average to have ethic of our society and group. Ethic of society and group. That's the good. The good means, always keep in mind, we have average concept. And then decide which one is good through democracy and majority rule. That's why we have a game theory, right? So in economic even, so then adopting those rules and theory of many different things for the good into even environment. So they don't give us any tools to communicate, but they demand the good. So that's the nonsense. That's why we always keep in mind in our discussion. So now, climate change is bad, right? Bad. Someone agree, someone not, but we have majority types of agreement. So even 10 years ago and 20 years ago, there is no good the policy and agreement with this climate change. Someone do not believe. Someone believe very harsh competition between two groups, denier and supporter. But right now, supporter is majority, right? So that's we have a good now. Protection against the climate change is good right now because we average-wise higher than other group. Okay, And then, please look at, a couple of times I already mentioned, please look at the policy and determination to protect our Earth against the climate change in detail. What's the policy right now? UN and our government and other the country's government are taking carbon neutral project, carbon neutral, carbon tax, carbon footprint. They use what? Money. Always they adopt a theory of economic efficiencies through money. So they, if you go to Samsung, if you go to Apple even, so they built renewable energy, 100% renewable energy right now with Apple and Google, right? How about the Samsung? Samsung tried to, but to me, so I don't say you agree with me. So to me, in person, personally, they seem pretend to be good. So they would like to make their company better than ever, would like to make money out of it through theory of economic, but try to be good. Because they don't think it is right to adopt renewable energy for their company, but they pretend to be good. So that's why, in frankly, so apologize, but forgive me, I have to say they are hypocrite. But their result of their effort are maybe good. Right? So think about it. So this is a very interesting scenario. Individual level, they don't agree it is right to adopt wind power and solar panel power through renewable energy, but they agree to be good. Okay, this is very interesting scenario. Why? Why? Simply because they would like to make money. But that from the consequence or result of their effort, even if this is not good at all, but the result make our Earth better than ever. Better than, because they do not emit carbon dioxide at all. Very interesting, I believe. So An Jung-geun, long time ago, the Korean soldier killed one prime minister of Japan. So violence is bad, right? Violence is not right. Violence is not right, but use those the tool or method which is not right at all, but to be good for the country. We defined those action, the patriot as devil. Devil. So even if I don't agree, violence or tool to be used to make a good society, goodness, but consequence and the result of those behavior and decision may be good. That's the devil. But if someone took a very, so they don't lie to themselves. They don't lie to themselves. They agree violence is bad. Violence is bad, but using those tools which is bad to make a good. So they don't lie to themselves. So we define those one, devil. But they always mention this is good, this is right. That's why I took it. To make a society better. But they lie to themselves. How about the company? So I don't pick the specific company, but a lot of different company and various company, they continuously told us it is right. That's why I took it. But behind those, the fact that they would like to make money. So they lied to them. They lied to themselves. Then we defined those behavior and person and company hypocrite. Okay? So devil. You may say, whatever that is, I don't care. So result is, as far as the result is good, it's okay. Maybe. But as an environmental engineer, so once again, we always have to come back to where we started with this issue. We are environmental engineer. Do you think it's better to take decision to be devil or hypocrite? There is only two different options. There is no other option at all. If you decide, which one do you prefer? Okay, think about it. This is not a simple answer to get. 여러분 충분히 이해하셨을 거예요. 제가 영어가 그렇게 강하지 않지만 충분히 이해하셨을 거 되지만 잠시만 소개를 하면 이 코리안 하면 여러분 자세히 보면 기후변화만 두고 보죠. 두고 보면 이게 누군가가 나와서 이게 재생에너지가 굉장히 좋은 거지 않느냐. 하지만 그 사람 속에는 그거 믿지 않는 거예요. 재생에너지가 뭐 그렇게 중요해. 이렇게 생각할 수도 있잖아요. 그죠? 백날 해봐라 되나 이러지만 속으로는 그렇게 생각하지만 그걸 이용해야 ESG 요즘에 유행하는 그런 단어 있잖아요. ESG 그걸 동의하든 안 동의하든 뭐 그렇게 하면 돈을 벌 수 있으니까 그걸 해서 하겠다 이러면 자기를 속이는 거잖아. 결과는 좋지만 결과는 비록 좋다 하더라도 자기를 속이는 거잖아. 사실 이 사람들은 미선자예요. 그런데 예를 들면 나 이거 나쁜 거 알아. 돈이 나쁜 거 알아. 하지만 내가 내 손에 피를 묻히더라도 이 돈을 뺏어 와가지고 불쌍한 사람들 혹은 가난한 사람을 돕겠어. 이런 사람은 뭐예요? 그죠? 악이라도 가져와가지고 악을 부수겠다. 이런 의미잖아요. 그죠? 이 사람들은 악마예요. 악마를 꼭 나쁘게 생각하지 마라. 이 수업에 좀 확연하게 구분하기 위해서 제가 이걸 그냥 논리를 쓰는 겁니다. 꼭 그렇다는 얘기가 아니에요. 누가 뭐 이런 정답이 있는 건 아니죠. 하지만 그렇게 해서라도 이 사회 문제를 해결하는데 만약에 해야 되겠다라는 방법이 생긴다면 못할 것도 없다라고 생각하는 사람도 있다라는 겁니다. 예를 들면 뭔가요? 저는 비트코인 같은 거 보세요. 돈을 여러분이 굉장히 돈을 싫어할 수 있어요. 돈을 아무리 잘해도 가진 자와 못 가진 자가 생기고 모든 걸 돈으로 해결하려고 그러니까 너무 싫은 거예요. 그러면 가진 자한테 뺏어와가지고 또 투표를 잘해서 진보 세력한테 투표를 줘서 가난한 자한테 복지를 하겠다. 뭐 기본소득도 하겠다. 뭐 좋은 얘기죠. 그죠? 그게 되나? 잘 안 되잖아요. 뭐 언젠가는 될 수도 있겠지만. 그러니까 어떻게 되냐? 나는 비트코인을 만들겠어. 돈을 싫기 때문에 새로운 돈을 만들어가지고 돈은 나쁘다는 걸 알지만 내 인정한다. 돈을 나쁜 건 나도 그렇게 생각해. 하지만 나쁜 돈이라도 저에게 쓰이게끔 만들겠다. 이 악마적인 스타일입니다. 사실은. 잘 한번 생각해 보세요. 그 환경공학자는 지금 아무도 인정을 안 하고 있어요. 나는 정부에서 인정해 주더라. 나는 기업에서 찾더라. 이렇게 약하게 살지 마세요. 그렇게 해서 해결될 문제가 아닙니다. 환경공학은 할수록 추락할 겁니다. 지금처럼 하면. 맨날 뒤치다거리마다 끝나는 거죠. 사실 우리가 그래서 제가 여러분한테 물어보면 우리한테 두 가지 옵션밖에 없다면 어떻게 할 거냐. 이 말입니다. 좀 너무 극단적으로 얘기하는 것 같지만 환경공학을 그 정도까지 생각하고 밑바닥부터 좀 출발하지 않으면 여기에 희망이 있을까? 이런 생각이 들어요. 그런 의미에서 조금 여러분한테 무겁고 굉장히 좀 동의하기 힘들고 좀 화가 나는 주제지만 좀 근본적으로 한번 생각을 다시 해보자라고 해서 이 문제를 가져오는 겁니다. Okay? So to bring this issue, so adopt the tools, even if bad, even if it's not right, we may take it to do something to contribute to our society through different theory, like that. So that's the devil's ethic. So ethic always demands agreement in average. So environmental engineer provide different tools to communicate for the person, for the people, for the public, more importantly, to communicate each other. So okay. So do you think whether environmental engineering is it for the people or for the public? So that's the very important the question, I believe. For the people, whenever you mention the people, 국민, behind these words there is always locate government, authorities, and system, right? So that's why I took the different words of exemplary, 모범 시민, 모범 국민. But the public, there is a good public, exemplary public? No. This is different. The public always right. Public is always right. Not because the public is right. The rightness starts from the public. That's the ethic, right? Even if you don't agree ethic from the public, ethic is that way. Think of this one. 그리고 그게 좀, okay, again, sorry for my Korean. 이거 한번 생각해, 대중은 언제나 옳다라는 말이 무슨 말일까? 한번 생각해 보신 적 있으세요? 국민은 언제나 옳은가요? 이게 좀 차이가 있습니다. 대중은 언제나 옳다라는 건 뭐냐면 대중이 옳기 때문이 아니라 옳음이라는 것이 원래 워낙에 우리 사회 옳음이 대중으로부터 출발하는 겁니다. 그걸 여러분이 좋아하든 싫어하든 간에 그런 거라는 거죠. 이게 묘한 거예요. That's why I suggest movement as environmental engineering against the crisis in ecology, climate change, even economics start from the public. We have to work with the public, not with the people. So to protect our nature, so you apply the project to the government and got the project and to develop the technology to clean water and air and soil and to propose those one to the company to get, okay, company once again apply the fund to the government to get the project to renovate all over again. This is the system. But those systems use language of money and power again. Even if you make a lot of good technology inside the system, and then they don't give us any tool to communicate. But now we are living in digital times. So once again, energy switch, right? When we hop in at the bus, we pay the different tools, the different options, and then we communicate each other once again. And then you shower, for example, in the morning. You shower. And there, right now, we only have one solver without any option, without any alternative. But if you select, I prefer to send my used water from shower to specific wastewater treatment plant, for example. If you want to send your shower water, dirty water, to wetland, for example, beside your adjacent to your apartment complex and dormitory, for example, and then you pay differently. And then we make what? Different language to communicate. Without government, without company, without UN, then we can communicate each other. How many options do we have with this one? Under different system of environment. Now we don't have any system at all. They pay and we provide the technology. With the technology, they communicate without us now. That's why I propose we have to make symbolic language with environmental engineering. It's possible right now with the digital. And then we may draw. Now we are living in this, with this world and society. And we copy everything with your identity, with water and air, into virtual world. So if we built metaverse, right? Okay, metaverse. And then you dump your water into sewer. This water go to wastewater, but in virtual world, you send a different area. And then artistically, we put the NFT, for example. I don't have enough knowledge about the NFT and Bitcoin and everything, but this is, for example, for your understanding. And then, with this twin city, digital twin city in a virtual world, metaverse, and then we don't want to invest your money with NFT to develop new technology to get the profit out of this activity from your selection. Okay, wastewater treatment purposes, wetland, or membrane process, or wastewater, conventional wastewater treatment plant, many different options like energy. And then we invest differently, and then got able to get benefit from this twin city, for example. And then the people recognize this can be beneficial to us, even in the metaverse, through digital language. Digital language. Without environmental technology, it is impossible to make this communication. You agree? Okay, even if we do exactly same research with water and air, we design differently. With a specific water, waste from your shower in the morning, and we attach NFT on that. Because you selected certain option to be treated for us, and then this water we cannot track in real world, but we can track in metaverse, digital world, virtual world. And then we can make money. So diverse strategic, right? We don't like sometimes the money to be utilized only for money. But we use money, which is different money, to make our environment better than ever. Okay, as environmental engineer, that's the devil's ethic. Okay. So this is only one example I may have. You don't have to agree, of course. So many different times I emphasize this one. But this is a guideline from myself and message from me in this class only. And then, so even if you make air purifier, 공기정화기, water treatment plant, or soil reclamation technology, and then combine two different language, for example, digital language, and then through which we can communicate finally. And then those activities may be connected to climate change issue, economic issue, and then we can bring us into major stage in this society. Otherwise, we always are guided by other person. They show rope, and we use rope, but sometimes we abandon. So to irradiate all the nonsense systematic tool, we have to have our own language. That's the devil's ethic. At least we are not hypocrite. You don't want to be hypocrite. Okay. Questions? 네. 무슨 말 하는지 좀 황당하고 속상하고 뭐 제가 좀 이상한 사람으로 보일지 모르지만 뭐 그런 것 같아요. 이제 제 나이쯤 되는 사람은 뭐 제가 이제 거의 60인데 열심히 일을 하고 또 저널 에디터 역할도 해봤고 이렇게 하는데 세상은 하나도 안 바뀔 때 이럴 때 좀 느낄 수 있는 좀 새로운 게 있었으면 좋겠다라는 생각을 해서 굉장히 젊고 앞으로 하실 일이 많은 분들한테 이런 생각도 좀 있을 수 있지 않겠느냐 해서 여러분한테 얘기를 드렸습니다. Any questions? Comment? Appreciate? Yes.
그 악이나 위선자나 사실 둘 다 결과가 전체에게 도움이 된다면은 그러면은 어떤 면에서 그게 차이가 있는지 좀 이해가 안 가가지고.
Yeah. Okay. He asked me. So hypocrite method, devil's method are even different, but the result of those both methods are same. What makes us a difference? Okay, very good answer, question, I believe. But if world is comprised of all hypocrite, what happens?
제가 잠깐 계속 한글로 말씀드려서.
예, 괜찮습니다.
네.
It's okay.
그 게임 이론에서 되게 유명한 예시가 있잖아요. 그 죄수의 딜레마. 만약에 죄수가 둘 다 위선자여가지고 나는 저 옆방에 있는 죄수 내가 좀 더 봤더라도 쟤 먼저 빨리 풀려나게 해주겠다. 뭐 이 예시가 적절할지 모르겠지만 둘 다 위선자면은 전체는 더 좋은 결과가 나오지 않을까.
Okay. So he said it's both the hypocrite and what makes a difference. So it's all the same from the game theory. So I agree. But think about it. So okay. So two different hypocrites in a prison. So even if the result is the same, result is better than for two different prisoners from their decision, but they agree they would like to leave order of the existing society. with this existing society, with the bad, very bad law and regulations, they would like to live as it is, without any renovation, without any change, without shift. With those conditions, I agree with you. But sometimes we would like to change our society from the bottom, from the stretch. And then we have to select to be sometimes, unfortunately, devil. The Bitcoin, for example. I'm not sure who made the Bitcoin, but to my understanding, he would like to renovate and change from the bottom of our society from the money. Because the present currency is always controlled by centralized economic system, centralized banking system. So if you agree, so there are a couple of different ideas to make our society better, right? But sometimes you mention to your friend, your family, I hate money, but we have to make money to survive. But somehow that's the hypocrite. If you hate money, we should not make money at all. That's the logical, right? Logical flow. But even though we don't like money, we hate money, but we have to make money and use money to drink coffee, to listen to and to come together to discuss about the academics in units. We have to use money. We hate the money, we have to use money. That's the hypocrisy, the logic. And then the Bitcoin inventor, he would like to eradicate and beat the current currency using different tools. I hate this money, but I show my antipathy, hatred, but I make new money to eradicate, remove this one, to make a new order, 질서, new order of society. That's the devil. So environmental engineering is actually saying, even if we make develop and research environmental technology to make our environment clean, but through different language, we deliver our technology to the public, not to the government, not to the person, and to the people. The people. It is very difficult, okay? Nobody agree, seems like that. One example, I devote my whole energy into the research of ScienceWalden. ScienceWalden이라는 프로젝트 우리 유니스트에 있죠. 인터넷 찾으면 많이 나오죠. The last 7 years. So a couple of times I propose different language to be used for artists, for economic activity, for education. So without any degree, without any grade, so I propose different language to be used to communicate in educational system. You don't know about any, right? What I propose. I believe my sign and tool with the communication, with the educational communication, better than grade, better than degree, but nobody uses it. Why? If you adopt my language, nobody recognizes it right now. That's the very difficult situation for you to do something for and with and together with environmental engineering. But keep in mind, it will be you contribute to our society using existing technology, but keep in mind you sometimes have a potential to renovate our society newly in a different way by utilizing different language. 여러분 제가 한 7년 동안 무슨 말을 했냐면 7년 동안 어떤 프로젝트를 하나 하면서 제 목표는 이거였어요. 내가 뭔가 새로운 언어를 하나 만들어서 예술가를 위해서, 경제를 위해서, 교육을 위해서 이렇게 만들었단 말이죠. 여러분 혹시 제 수업을 듣는 분이 있는 게 뭐지만 제 지난학기 수업에서는 그 앱을 썼어요. 실제로. 그 학점이나 이런 것들도 그거로 판정을 하는 썼단 말이죠. 근데 학생들도 그렇게 동의하지 못하는 이유가 뭘까요? 아, 교수님 그거 참 좋은 거 알겠는데 나는 유니스트에서 좋은 학점을 받아야 직장도 잘 구하고 졸업도 할 거 아닙니까? 근데 왜 이런 거 가지고 자꾸 이중으로 힘들게 만드십니까? 이렇게 생각할 수 있잖아요. 당연히. 그 제가 이제 똥보니 화폐라는 거를 제안을 했죠. 근데 그거 신기하고 참 좋은 것 같기는 한데 똥보니 화폐 그래서 내가 써야지 이러고 똥보니 화폐를 막 쓰고 다른 돈을 안 벌면 여러분 굶어 죽어요. 그렇죠? 똑같다는 거죠. 환경공학자로서 여러분이 아이디어를 내서 뭔가 저분이 얘기하는 걸 좋으니까 나는 그렇게 해야지 하면 여러분 굉장히 힘들게 살 수 있어요. 그렇지만 그것을 알고 마음에 두고 이렇게 한 걸음씩 나아가는 것과 이 기존의 질서 속에서 살아가는 것은 완벽히 다르다는 거예요. 그리고 제가 하고 싶은 얘기는 기존의 질서에서 산다고 해서 여러분 잘못하는 것도 아니에요. 하지만 그렇게 살면 세상은 그렇게 쉽게 바뀌지 않는다는 거죠. Okay, that's the my message. Between two different theory, from different morality and ethic. So it's up to you to select one of these. Otherwise, always you and we are guided by international organizations and government and authoritative company through money, through power, even with the name of democracy. Okay, other questions, comment? 예, 또 다른 질문. Have you heard about the Anthropocene? Yes, no. 인류세 들어보셨어요? 인류세. Okay, what is Anthropocene? Anthropocene, 인류세. It is a geographical period. So we are living in Holocene right now in academic official language and terminology. But someone prefer to call our time of era we are living Anthropocene. Anthropocene means we would like to and prefer to take action to the direction of maximizing entropy. Maximizing entropy. So remember yourself from your physics class with entropy. So entropy always increase. Always increase. So using the fossil fuel is increase entropy of our activity and in a physical way. That's a very natural way. So to use petroleum to develop some industry to get economic growth is very natural, right? It's very natural. To protect the use of fossil fuel is not natural sometimes. That's the Anthropocene. Anthropocene says mankind and humankind have a right to use fossil fuel because that is the physical law, which is one of the natural law. But that's the result is climate change. Fossil fuel is wrong. Fossil fuel is not right. 여러분 화석연료가 잘못했나요? That's a different one. Physically, under nature law, natural law, fossil fuel is not wrong. Humankind is wrong, not right? Probably not. we would like to do, we've been doing something to survive by using fossil fuel, but consequence, result of those may be not good. That's why you'd like to take another action. What is it? Anthropocene. Anthropocene. Negative Anthropocene means that. So even if we are living in Anthropocene era, from the digital application into our society, job disappear. Near future, job disappear. So limited job occupied by the person, as well as mostly by robotic and artificial intelligence. You know that we've been heard many different times with this one. So entropy maximize, right? Maximize with this Anthropocene. But the Anthropocene in digital time and digital world, entropy should be diminished, even under zero. There is no opportunity space, limited space. The people, huge amount of the people, worker, can try to get job within this limited space and opportunity. There is negative opportunity, negative. But the big data make a lot of profit and value to be distributed more than enough to the person in the world. So there's no worry at all. Okay, under this the Anthropocene, the society and world, people got money out of this society even without any job, through basic income, for example, or other welfare system. So we can survive, but we don't have any job. That's the Anthropocene theory and hypothesis. You agree? Someone mentioned this one. 자, 인류세 시대를 우리가 살고 있다고 하죠. 그러니까 인류세는 두 가지가 있죠, 그죠? 화석연료, 그 다음에 닭고기. 지구가 닭고기 뼈로 쫙 깔리는 거. 이렇게 많이들 얘기를 하는데, 인류세 얘기는 여러분도 가끔 들어보셨는데, 이 탈인류세라고 하기도 하고, 이 한글 번역이 아직은 없어요. 그러니까 네거티브 때문에 부인류세라고 하기도 하고, 비인류세라고 하기도, 탈인류세라고 하는데, 이 세상, 이 이론은 뭐냐면, 빅데이터가 이 지구 전체 사람들이 다 먹을 수 있는 것들 다 만들어낼 거라는 거죠. 이제 앞으로는 머신러닝, 인공지능, 우리 학교가 지금 그죠? 난리가 났죠. 우리 학교도. 그런 세상이 오면 엔트로피가 극단적으로 줄어든다. 물리학적으로는 불가능하죠. 물리학적으로 엔트로피가 마이너스 되는 건 불가능하잖아요. 근데 그런 이 가상의 시절이 오고 그렇게 되면 사람들은 먹고 살 그런 충분한데 이 세상에 대한 어떤 가치의 논리와 이 자연 법칙이 적용될 건지에 대한 이제 본격적인 인류가 고민을 하기 시작한 그런 세상을 Anthropocine이라고 합니다. 한번 여러분도 진지하게 생각을 한번 해보시면 재밌을 것 같아요. 그래서 옛날에는 기본소득 이러면 굉장히 진보적인 사람들만 얘기했잖아요. 그렇죠? 근데 이 Anthropocene 사회에 있어서는 기본소득은 굉장히 어떻게 보면 보수적인 사람들이 얘기하는 거죠. 그러니까 기본소득 주고 자기들은 실컷 돈 벌 수가 있잖아요. 그렇죠? 액다 이거는 먹어라 이러고 자기들은 실컷 더 벌 수 있는 이런 논리적인 좀 그런 사회가 올 수도 있다. 뭐 이런 The reason why I compare the Anthropocene we are facing with right now. But for the future, somebody predict the Anthropocene era where there is no job at all, but with a welfare system, at least people survive with which So there are theory and tools to share profit and value with us. Okay, different hypotheses, I believe. So there are social scientists and 인류학을 영어로 뭐라고? 인류학? 갑자기 생각이 안 나네요. Okay, the Anthropocene has attitude of devils, I believe. They don't like money, but they agree, and they show their candid opinion, but using those money, using currency, take another things and solve a lot of problems. How about the climate change? Our climate change crisis in Anthropocene, very controversial right now, right? Very controversial. How about the Anthropocene time? There's no controversy at all. Why? Artificial intelligence select on behalf of humans. They select the right way. They select a good way. From optimization of technology and policy. So people got only profit and to survive. I'm not sure if we can survive. So that's the Anthropocene is a devil. And Anthropocene, a lot of person, they pretend to be good. That's why under different theory of the hypocrite. So that's the very different opinion and controversy. 질문, comment and questions. This is it for today.